How would Bruce Lee do in the MMA, mixed martial arts, today? How would he do or fare today if he were to engage in what we see today and what is commonly referred to today as MMA or mixed martial arts? In the Octagon, in other words. Would he do well? Would he struggle? Would he just hands down beat most of the people, if not all of the people in the mixed martial arts arena? Talking about the people over the past maybe 10, 15 years. What do you think? Let me add this. Did you not know that Bruce Lee was given credit for being one of the first people during our time to even do mixed martial arts? He was. It existed before him, I'll be honest. But credit was given to him, and I acknowledged him doing mixed martial arts back in the 70s when he was still living. Early 70s, that is. He died in 73. But look, do you recall Enter the Dragon, the beginning scene with Sammo Hung, when they had the Speedos on, if you will, and the Kempo fighting gloves? That was mixed martial arts. Did you know that? Did you see the manipulation on the ground when he had Sammo tap out? Did you watch the fighting scene in the tunnel at the elevator when Bruce Lee was using trapping from Wing Chun and arm shoulder locks on Jackie Chan and others? He was using grappling. He was using joint manipulations already. As many have said before, Bruce Lee was way ahead of his time during that era. And then later years after him, people started to gain traction from his popularity and fame in the martial arts, because martial arts was not that popular in the West before Bruce Lee. It was not until he hit the screen and the scene that everybody wanted to do martial arts. Kung Fu, karate, judo, whatever. And now it is what it is today. Bruce Lee is the reason that many martial arts programs, schools, and systems skyrocketed to stardom. Many people became wealthy as a result of the Bruce Lee era, for those who don't want to give him credit. Now, if Bruce Lee was alive today, would he do good in MMA? He would do excellent in MMA. Now, we know he's going to be 70s, in his 70s as far as age is concerned. But his very nature and his very purpose in martial arts was to find that thing within, that self-discovery, perfecting oneself through your craft. And don't forget what he said. Martial arts to me, is honestly expressing one's self. And he did just that. He didn't have all of this equipment made for him, specifically made for him in his training. He didn't have it made for no reason at all. He used it to build his forearms, his legs, his shoulders, his balance, his stance, his speed. He did all of these things intentionally because he was a warrior. He was a true proponent of martial arts. He was a fighter. Contrary to all of the naysayers and all of the Bruce Lee haters, he was that. It was not by happenstance that he had over 2,000 books on martial arts, on virtually every system of fighting that existed in his library. He didn't do that because he was an actor. He did that because he was a purist in heart as it related to the art of pugilism. Bruce Lee was the real deal, as some have said. I agree. He was indeed a martial arts phenomenon. There were other people as good as and better than before him and even during his time. But as I've said before, they didn't surface. Bruce Lee surfaced. So he's the only one, he's the only beacon that we had to look at that time. Not discrediting anybody else. He was the only one. And because he was the only one that rose from Asia and made his mark, he is still unequivocally the greatest martial artist of the 20th and the 21st century. So, would he do good in today's MMA? He would do excellent. Because as the years would go by, he wouldn't get worse, he would get better. That's what would have happened. So, Bruce Lee was on a mission. Unfortunately, his life was shortened at the age of 32. And he accomplished his purpose. We all wish that he would have lived longer. But that short span of time of him on this earth impacted all of us in a very special way. Had it not been for Bruce Lee, this is my personal testimony. Had it not been for Bruce Lee, I would have never studied the martial arts, and I would never have been sitting here making this video about him, had it not been for him. All of the accomplishments that I've had and all of the championships that I have participated in, all that stuff is secondary. But had it not been for him, I would have never had those experiences. I would have never become a martial arts instructor. That's it. But he did happen. And because he happened, I came along behind that, being inspired by him. And that's why I'm Brother Teacher.